I am very grateful for my study of aesthetic realism, founded by poet and philosopher Eli Siegel, which enabled me to be a kinder person. Even after being a deckhand for 10 seasons, I had no desire to become a captain. Even when I was told I had enough deckhand time to sit for it, why was this so? My father, my brother, my uncles, aunts, friends, co-workers, neighbors, etc., all wondered what was stopping me. Why wasn't I jumping at the chance to become a maritime captain? I felt rather content just being a deckhand, reading my car and photography magazines, and just cleaning the boat and handling the lines. Even when I was told how much money I could make as a captain and the prestige that goes along with the position, still I was unmoved. It wasn't until my aesthetic realism consultants asked me questions about the fight I was in as to whether I wanted to give my thought and attention to things outside me, the world itself, including other people, that I began to change my mind. For example, they asked me, would I respect people more if I were responsible for up to 600 passengers at a time on one trip? Would I respect myself if I went back to school to learn new things, including about piloting a boat? At that time, I had decided the minute my college days were over, absolutely no more books for me, ever. That's it, I'm done. But my consultants asked in this beautiful one-hour consultation, could learning more about the world and the process of becoming a captain add to you as an individual and enable you to have more pride in yourself? Would being useful to the world as a captain be something that could really have you be respected? I'm grateful to my consultants for asking me these kind questions, which had me see myself differently as having larger scope. I soon came to feel I wanted to enroll at the Houston Marine Services School down at 17 Battery Place, and that's what I did. And again, my gratitude is immense to my aesthetic realism consultants, anthropologist Arnold Perry, yachtsman and videographer Robert Murphy, and the who's who in American art, painter Chaim Koppelman, who all encouraged me to consider steering and be clearer about what interfered with me choosing a captain's career, and to see it could benefit my life, which it has greatly. Little things that are quite big. So now I'd like to talk to you about things that have to be considered in an everyday way. One thing you cannot be is afraid to ask questions. Nearly all mariners, especially the old salty dogs, want to answer questions and impart any knowledge they can. The opposites of known and unknown are in play here. If you feel you know everything, the deeper meaning in all things nautical will stay unknown. How much does the ego interfere with our ability to learn? The more humble we can be, the more we will take in. I was learning new things up until the very last day I steered. And I learned things from the most junior captains, and yes, I learned things from deckhands as well. If it weren't for my study of aesthetic realism, I don't think I would have been as so receptive to learning. Thinking one knows it all early is quite a danger for recently made captains. You are still quite wet behind the ears, or as they say in the industry, the ink is still drying on your license. The good news is every captain approved me. Not one said I wasn't ready. All of these captains were white. Soon after, the pier manager was looking to fill the last position for a captain to be relief on the company's captain's list. Strangely, I was being passed over day after day. Then one morning, the passionate and angry Captain Michael Duffy, after seeing yet another captain show up on the press of premises to possibly be hired, suddenly stormed off the boat on which I was the deckhand, his deckhand. He said nothing, and from the end of the pier just marched all the way up to the front of the pier and right into the operations office. Once there, he told me later, he demanded that I be hired after weeks of being overlooked. He told the pier manager, "God damn it," expletive deleted, "Captain Michael is ready. why are you trying to hire all these damn captains? He has proved himself over and over. They relented, and I was then told to start as relief captain the next morning on one of the toughest boats of the fleet to command. If it wasn't for Captain Duffy, who also broke me in the most at Circle Line, I have no idea when they would have hired me, even though I had worked there for 10 years already. I have thanked him over and over and told many people of his goodwill for me throughout the years. And I would like now to point out Captain Michael Duffy. Stand up, Cap. Another thing I was grateful to Captain Mike Duffy is for not only making sure management stopped dragging their feet and hiring me from a deckhand, but early on he had me every day try to name every single vessel that passed the Circle Line 10 that he steered. My trying to identify vessels happened day and night. Being able to recognize a vessel by its smokestack size or shape, a painted line on the hull, or down at the waterline, etc., etc. It was all fascinating, and it helped. I found it hard at first and did not see the value immediately. But when I became captain, it enabled me to recognize a vessel from far, far away. This knowledge is indispensable. Learn as much as you can out there, as much as possible, as hopefully you did here at SUNY Maritime. I am grateful that it was through the thought of Eli Siegel, a white man, that I was able to understand the deepest things in myself and also other people. And this points to a fundamental hope for all the races. In beautiful prose, Mr. Siegel stated, quote, "It would be found that black and white men have the same goodnesses, the same temptations, and can be criticized in the same way. The skin may be different, but the aorta is quite the same," unquote. Humanity will thank him, as I do, for teaching in aesthetic realism how all people on the water or on dry land can honestly see each other with depth, kindness, and respect.